This is an account of the story of Ronald Reed, who passed away in June 2014. After his death, the media overflowed with reports about his secret that he kept from everyone, even his family. Ronald Amassi, his heir, inherited an obscenely large sum of $8 million. Using luck or whatever, it's not uncommon for millionaires like Ronald to die. But the most amazing part of this story is that Ronald grew up on a poor farm, received only a high school education, and worked as a janitor his entire life, earning only enough to support his family. In the 2000s, a janitor's salary was about $22,000 a year, and the question was how Ronald was able to turn his earnings into $8 million. I know how he did it. He applied a wealth formula that no one learned in school. The wealth formula is this: your income minus your expenses must equal your cash flow. If you have a positive cash flow, you have money left over. If you have negative cash flow, you go into debt. According to the book The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, true wealth lies in the money you save by not spending it on unnecessary things. If you can save 5% extra income, you can retire a few years earlier. Let's look at an example. Let's imagine your monthly income is $5,000. If your cash flow is zero or negative, that means your expenses equal or exceed $5,000. In this case, you will never achieve financial freedom and will have to work until you die, unless you have a trust fund. However, if your cash flow is $5,000 and your expenses are zero, you can be financially free right now. The key is to make sure your expenses don't exceed your income. If your annual income is $65,000 and you can save 10% or $6,500, you can be financially free in 51.4 years. But if you can save 5% more, you can achieve financial freedom in 15 years. With just 5% more effort, you can shorten the time to financial independence by 8 years. Typically, Americans spend about $18,000 a year on unnecessary items. Let's imagine you spend $173 on takeaways each month. Let's figure out the second lesson. It's important to know how much money you've had time to save by your current age. To become a millionaire by age 65, you need to know this figure to adequately plan your finances. Let's assume you started saving at age 20. You need to save $204 a month to become a millionaire by age 65. If you start saving at age 30, you will need to save $443 a month. At age 40, you'll need to save $1,030 a month. And when you reach age 50, you'll need $2,795 a month, and so on. As with many things in life, the earlier you start, the easier it will be to achieve financial freedom. And here's the secret to savings: you can automate it. I automatically transfer a portion of my paycheck into a savings account every month. This way, I accumulate the amount I want to save and leave in my current account only the amount I plan to spend during the month. The automated approach saves time and helps me focus on achieving my financial goals. I believe that wealthy people achieve results through automation. They create systems that allow them to keep everything under control. And I'll probably take a lot of negative comments for this, but I'm committed to this approach. At the end of the day, you have to find your own path to financial independence. This automation strategy guide isn't for everyone, but my goal is to simplify personal finance as much as possible. Probably because psychologically, the more obstacles we have, the less likely we are to achieve our goals. What do you think of the book Wealthy Habits? Tom Corley states that over 75% of millionaires came from poor families and were self-made. However, they have one thing in common, confirmed by the IRS: almost all of them have created multiple sources of income. 3 to 7. Ronald Reed had two main sources of income: his job as a highwayman and another that I'll share later. Having multiple sources of income has several advantages. First, you reduce your dependence on one source, including full-time employment. You may think your full-time employment is safe and secure, but it's actually much riskier than it may seem. Ponder, if your boss says those dreaded words, "You're fired," will you remain financially secure? Having multiple sources of income helps mitigate that risk. To improve your cash flow formula, you can reduce your monthly expenses. If your expenses are $3,000, you can try to live more frugally and reduce them to $2,400. However, there is a limit to how little you can live on. You need to buy food and drink water. If you can earn a little more, even $100 a week, your cash flow will increase significantly. To make more money, you can offer your services, do overtime, ask for a raise, get more education, and get a better job. Or you can try what I did: start a part-time job. A part-time job is a great way to make extra money.